Welcome once again to More Layers. My name is Seth Mariano.
And I am Jordan Smith.
Yep, it is May 2021, and it is 6 days before Mark Zuckerberg's 37th birthday. Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook.
I have a hard time believing he's that old. To me, he doesn't look that old, honestly.
Well,
When did he create Facebook?
I think it was maybe early 2000s.
Like, I know before Facebook, there were websites like MySpace that people were using, but I don't
Right.
remember exactly when they transitioned from one to the other.
Yeah, well, either way, thank you, Mark, for your invention.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's gotten some flack, I guess you could say, for things like the Miramar refugee crisis and some data privacy controversies, but I believe it can get better, and I wish you in advance happy birthday, man.
Yeah, and didn't he stand up to like a bunch of officials that were questioning him about Facebook and its privacy settings or whatever? Like he was
Yeah,
brought before some group of people, I forget which, but they were basically not necessarily interrogating him, but asking him a lot of questions of how Facebook is supposed to work and why it's doing this or why it shouldn't be doing this or whatever. But props to him for keeping his cool the whole time. I'll say that.
it was, I believe, some group in Washington. Congress would be my first guess.
I was about to say I figured it was some kind of government thing, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, well, yeah, well, I'm trusting you, Mark, to make it right. And overall, I'm personally satisfied with your website, and it may have its problems, but I think it can get better.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like every website has its own issues. But if Facebook is still going on for this long, then he must be doing something right.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, happy birthday to him.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mark. So, hmm, I last week after we recorded, I voiced a concern about how we had in our trailer prior to starting this show had some selling points or talking points of action, adventure, or whatever else there was, and Jordan suggested that we do a sort of game for this episode, and you'll see it easily ties into the main topic we're going to be discussing today.
Yep.
So it's a simple concept. One of us will read the other a line, a lyric line from a Disney animated movie song, and the other will try to guess the movie or the song title if they can think of it, or at least the movie.
Well, I have questions from a website I found that don't necessarily stick solely to Disney lyrics, but they stick to the Disney songs themselves. So it's still very much related.
Okay.
Figured it would give a little variety there.
Okay. So since my thing is loading, you can go ahead and you can quiz me first if you want to.
Oh, did you want to start with the quizzing thing, or did you want to go through our topic of discussion first?
I thought we could do the quiz first.
Okay, I will pull mine up as well then. I do have it bookmarked, so it should only take a second here.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's coming up. Almost there. Yep. And so you said you found something off a website.
Yeah, I figured I would do. I feel like I wouldn't be able to create a very interesting or uh, trying to think of a good word that like what so is this lyric for? Let me see.
Yeah. I just pretty much winged mine.
You know, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. 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 I just kind of went off memory of Disney music
Sure.
and basic knowledge of stuff from some of their movies.
Okay.
Yeah. So mm, almost there.
Yeah, it's just taking a second to load. Had it for a second and then. Okay, now I got it.
All right.
So, question one, double choice. So, if you want to hear the options,
Okay.
please say so. Uh,
Okay.
in Disney's The Jungle Book, who gives Mowgli a lesson on life by singing the bare necessities?
King Louis. No, Baloo. Baloo.
Yep. There.
Yeah, I think we might have a bad
Okay. Do you
connection.
want me to keep going, or do you want to go back and forth? You think so?
Oh, I'll maybe on and off, but seems all right now.
I was
Okay,
about to
so
say I can at least hear you just fine.
yeah, okay, so I've got a line, a rather
Sure.
vague line from a song, and if you want, I have a series of one-word clues to help you.
All right.
All right, all right.
Yep.
So here's the first line. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. A square with a horn makes you wish you weren't born.
A square with a horn makes you wish you weren't born.
Yep.
That almost sounds like a riddle in of itself. Square with a horn. I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was the Horn King from Black Cauldron, but I don't think that's it.
Nope. Nope.
See, what other Disney characters have horns? Um, you said you had
You
one word clues?
yeah, I have three of them. You want one?
Yes, please.
All right. Motorcycle.
Motorcycle. Disney movie. Square horn makes you wish you weren't born. Hopefully, there's no one listening right now that's like, "Oh, come on, this is really obvious. You should know this." Um,
Yeah. Feel free to play along with us, people.
well, yeah, please do, because we're probably gonna take a few seconds to answer each one anyway. Um, I'm still having trouble picturing this.
All right. Want another one?
Sure.
All right. Geese.
Motorcycle, geese, square horn. Is this a live action or animated film?
Animated.
It's not the
All right.
Lion King, is it?
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
Yeah. I got one more.
Okay.
All right. Piano.
Okay. Motorcycle, geese, piano, square horn makes you wish you weren't born. Motorcycle, geese, piano. I'm still drawing a blank. That's a tough
All right.
one.
All right. I'll tell you then. It's a song from the Aristocats.
See, that was going to be my next guess, but I wasn't sure because I didn't remember a motorcycle.
Yeah, it's a song called Everybody Wants to Be a Cat from the Aristocats.
Okay.
One of the villains rode a motorcycle. There were some geese, and there were some pianos in the movie as well.
Yeah, I do remember the pianos.
Yeah. Okay, what's your next question?
Okay. In Disney's Hercules, why does Megara, or Meg as some people call her, sing the song I Won't Say I'm in Love?
Because she's in love with Hercules.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. She's basically trying to push her own feelings away for him because she got bad luck in the past, as it were. So you basically gave the short version. So you got it.
All right. Maybe this next line will be easier. All right. So, I was living the life. Things were just the way they should be.
That does sound familiar. I was living the life. These are I mean, I know isn't it, but I know in the live action Beauty and the Beast, one of the songs had a line opening to the song that was very similar. This one I know I've heard before.
Want a clue?
Yeah, I'm gonna need one.
All right. Barrel.
Barrel. Uh,
Yeah.
Barrel. See, I don't think it's Tarzan. Uh, I know the animated Beauty and the Beast had barrels. What else had barrels?
All right. You want the next one?
Yeah, for no other reason, just to keep things going so that there aren't too many pauses for the audience.
All right. Matches.
Barrel, matches. And what was the original lyric?
I was living the life. Things were just the way they should be.
Okay, so somebody might have been living a fancy life. Barrels, matches.
And then the last clue is window.
What came to my mind just now, I want to say this is a Disney movie, and I forget the character's name, but she was like a poodle in the movie Oliver and Company.
Oh, Georgette.
Yeah, that was who I was thinking of. Yeah.
Well, no, it isn't.
Darn.
All right, I'll tell you. It
Okay.
was it was from it was from Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
I
was
guess it kind of makes sense.
it was a song called "Strange Things Are Happening to Me" or something like that. Something toward the middle of the film.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, now I know why I heard it before. Darn it.
Yeah. So there were monkeys in a barrel. There there were matches, and Buzz fell out a window.
Right. Yes, that it all comes together now.
Yeah. Oh,
All right.
all right. What's your next one?
This one might be easy, especially if you've heard the song plenty of times before. Simba, Timon, and Pumbaa famously sang Hakuna Matata in Disney's The Lion King. What does Hakuna Matata mean?
No worries.
Exactly.
All right. All right. How about this lyric?
Hmm.
When there's a smile in your heart, there's no better time to start.
When there's a smile in your heart, there's no better time to start.
All right.
See, without the
First,
music, it's different.
all right. First clue, mermaid. And it's
Okay,
not
so
Little Mermaid. And it's
okay, I
not
was
Little Mermaid.
so it has a mermaid in it, but it's not the Little Mermaid.
Or at least a mentioning of one.
See, I believe Peter Pan referenced mermaids at some point.
Yes, Peter
It,
Pan.
it is
It
Peter
is.
Pan. Okay.
Yeah, it was the song "You Can Fly."
Right, because we did that one too.
Yeah. What role did you play?
I was Starkey the pirate.
So, well, one of the miscellaneous pirate ship crew.
Yeah, he's a character who towards the end kind of starts a mutiny against Hook, but he ends up just jumping off the boat. But it was really fun.
Okay. You have another question?
Yeah. This whole quiz I have, by the way, comes from Grizzly, spelled GRIZLY.com. The whimsical soundtrack of Mary Poppins gets us every time. What lyrics come at the end of this celebrated song? A spoonful of sugar, blank.
Helps the medicine go down.
Yep.
Okay. All right. My next lyric is he knew in order to succeed, they'd have to work together.
He knew that in order to succeed, we'd have to work together.
All right. My first clue is circus.
So, Dumbo?
Nope.
Okay, what other Disney movies have a circus?
All right. My next
Hmm.
clue is dartboard.
Circus and a dartboard.
All right. And one more clue I
Yep.
have bar.
Okay, so it's like a bar setting.
Yes.
What bar setting has a dartboard in a Disney movie? Oh, wait. I know Bug's Life had that.
There you go. That's it.
Yes. Okay. I'm getting better.
Yes, I know. I know. These are probably the trickiest things you could come up with, probably.
You know, honestly, I prefer that because if it was too easy, it'd be over too quickly.
Yeah, so it was a song called something like "The Time of Your Life." You probably heard it in the end credits.
Okay.
Yeah,
I gotta go back and watch that one again.
yeah. All right. So, all right. Got another question?
Yep. Snow White pulled at our heartstrings when she sang "I'm wishing" while cleaning the courtyard of the Queen's castle. Finish these lyrics. Make a wish, blank, blank, blank. It is 3 words.
Yeah, I am not familiar with that song, honestly.
Well, Snow White was like their very first Disney movie, so that kind of makes sense. But the options here are "In Your Head," "Into the Stars," "For Heaven's Sake," and "Into the Well."
Well, I don't think I want to say it's Star because I feel like the whole "Wish Upon a Star" thing kind of started with Pinocchio afterwards. So I'm thinking
Okay.
maybe not that. So let's see. Into the Well or For Heaven's Sake, I think are the ones that I'm considering. For Heaven's Sake, because of that prayer scene at one point, and I think there might have been a well. I'm gonna go with the well.
You got it.
All right.
Yeah, when she sang that song, she was singing right into a wishing well, and it kind of echoed back at her.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. All right. This one is probably the vaguest one so far. The lyric is, "Show me everything, tell me how."
That is Phil Collins singing in Tarzan.
You're absolutely right.
I was about to say, I love the Tarzan soundtrack, and it's Strangers Like Me, isn't it?
Yep. That's it.
I love that one so much.
Yeah. Yeah. And his band Genesis is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Is that what his band name was?
Yeah.
Okay, because I knew he had a band at some point, but I couldn't remember the name. I know for the Tarzan soundtrack, he teamed up with NSYNC for a different version of Trashin' on the Camp. And actually, matter of fact, I met Joey Fatone back in 2019, one of the members of NSYNC, and I asked them about that. And apparently, they didn't know right away when they were in the studio that he was going to sing with them, but he just went into the booth with them and was like, "Yeah, I'm going to do it with you guys." They're like, "Oh, okay."
So, how'd you meet Joey?
He was at a convention in Rochester, New York.
Well, that sounds cool. And
He,
you have probably the coolest celebrity encounter stories I've ever heard.
well, I've met a small handful of them, and honestly, every one of them has been great. I've met Joey Fatone, as I just said, Vic Mignogna, a big voice actor, Veronica Taylor, who was the original English voice for Ash in Pokemon, uh, Doug Walker, otherwise known as the Nostalgia Critic.
Right?
I
Which we talked
think,
about first episode, yeah.
yep. And I think there might have been one more, but I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to think about that, but those are like the big four that I've met in person.
Yeah, well, that sounds pretty cool. And I remember watching Joey Fatone guest appear on Impractical Jokers at his hot dog place, Fat Ones.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah,
I
he
had
kind
no
of.
idea he had a hot dog place.
Yeah, it's called Fat Ones Hot Dogs and Italian Ice. I think maybe they have just the one shop in New York, maybe one in Jersey too. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Okay. So, is there another question on your list there?
Yeah, I've actually got quite a few here, 20 in total.
Sounds good.
I might jump over some of them either because they're just really easy or something, but the song
All
When
right.
You Wish Upon a Star is the signature song from Pinocchio, but which character sang it?
Jiminy Cricket.
Yep.
Okay, my next lyric is, "He's the very best." That's it. He's the very best.
He's the He's the very best. He's the rootinest, tootinest cowboy in the Wild West. That is Woody's Roundup from Toy Story 2.
Yes. There you go.
It's like
I
I
know.
had
You
to try
started.
and put it in a tempo. But
Yeah, when I heard you start to sing it, I thought maybe a light bulb is going off right now.
Yeah, it just clicked, and I was like, wait, I know that song. I'm gonna sing it.
All right, all right. What's the next question you got?
Okay, let's see. Okay, as they wrote it, it didn't take much for the underwater kingdom of Atlantis to capture our hearts and attention, especially following the song Under the Sea. Who sang this memorable tune in Disney's The Little Mermaid?
Sebastian.
Yep, and I mainly asked that one because that's also one that we did, and I personally think that's one of my favorite theater moments that we've done before.
Oh, did you actually do like an accent like in the movie?
Yeah, they were kind of having me go for like a pseudo Jamaican accent, which I hadn't done before, so it was interesting to try, but I honestly had fun with it.
Yeah, well, I hope this doesn't rub anybody the wrong way in a wrong racial way or anything, but I think it's well, easier for an African American like the Sebastian voice actor in the film, Sam Wright, to do it because I feel like Jamaican is kind of closer to their ethnicity.
I mean, it definitely can, yeah. And I feel like what's the best way to word this without sounding weird? Um, See, like I was trying to do a Jamaican accent, but I wasn't necessarily trying to make fun of it. It was
Oh yeah,
more
yeah. I wouldn't
me
want to do
trying to,
that.
yeah, like it was more me trying to, I guess in a way, pay respect to those who actually do have Jamaican accents.
Or roots there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, would you be willing to give us a taste of it?
All right. Let's see. What's something that Sebastian says? Uh, it's been like 2, 3 years since we've done it now.
Yeah. Probably feels to a lot of people like more time has passed than that since this whole COVID or what something.
Yeah, it definitely has. Oh, okay. I got one. This is honestly
Okay.
one of my favorite Sebastian lines.
Okay.
Teenagers. They think they know everything. You give them an inch, they swim all over you.
All right. That was all right.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So, all right. I got a couple more here. The next
Okay.
one is they're quick and slick and insincere.
Well, I know no one's as quick or slick as Gaston. They're quick, they're slick, and very sincere. Okay, what's the first one word thing?
Uh, Waterfall.
Okay, so quick, slick. My first thought is Pocahontas.
No, no.
Okay, because I know she kind of like jumps over a waterfall at some point. There's Cusco from Emperor's New Groove going over a waterfall. I don't think that's it either.
Mm-mm.
Uh, quick and
And
slick.
then I have Balloon.
Balloon. I mean, there's Winnie the Pooh.
Yep, that's it. That's it.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yes, the I'm not sure what the title is. It's the Heffalump and Woozle song from
Oh.
the Blustery Day short, which was also part of the Many Adventures package feature.
Which I think I actually have somewhere. I'll have to go back and look at it.
Oh, we had a cassette of that, the Many Adventures.
Yeah, we do too.
Yeah, yeah, like the special commemorative like '90s cassette.
Yeah, it was definitely a VHS cassette.
Like with ads for things like Toy Story and the little short documentary right before the movie with me explaining kind of how the whole Pooh franchise with Disney started.
That does sound right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, because yeah, that was our copy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had the same one. Okay.
All right. Go on ahead.
So this is the song A Whole New World from Aladdin. And the lyric is unbelievable sights, indescribable feeling, soaring, tumbling, blank through an endless diamond sky.
Freewheeling.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I've asked a few people that one in the past, and they actually didn't know.
Yeah, well, I've heard that song more than once, and well, we didn't use that part of the song when we did the virtual Artists Unlimited Aladdin, but we used a little bit of it
Mhm.
when I played Aladdin, and your group you also played the title role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can do a stage version of it at some point.
Okay, I've got one last lyric right here,
Okay.
and it's when you get in trouble and you don't know right from wrong.
When you get in trouble. Okay, I know I've heard this. When you get in trouble and you don't know right from wrong. This is very familiar.
All right. My first clue is apple.
So, like Snow White?
Nope. And then there's whale.
Okay, Apple, Whale, Pinocchio?
Yep. There you
Oh,
go.
oh, oh, yeah. When Jiminy Cricket is like, give a little whistle.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, it took a second to click, but I got it.
All right. Yeah. So that's all I've got. You've got more?
Yeah. All right. Oh, shoot. It jumped around on me. Hang on.
All right. All right.
I'm sorry.
Hang
For
with
some
us.
reason, it kind of disappeared for a second.
All right.
Okay. So we have the movie Sleeping Beauty, and the song is Once Upon a Dream. And the lyric goes, I know you. I walked with you once upon a dream. I know you. The gleam in your eyes is so familiar, a gleam. Yet I know it's true that blank are seldom all they seem.
Visions.
Oh, yeah, you got that one too. You're acing this.
Well, I think it probably helps that I grew up with like a few Disney and Pixar films, and when I was really young, I watched a lot of Disney sing-along songs cassettes.
Yeah, I don't know if we had too many sing alongs, but I definitely grew up a lot with Disney.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Wait,
Try me with another one.
all right, I've got one more here.
Okay.
Uh, so this is a lyric from Colors of the Wind in Pocahontas. She goes, the heron and the otter are my friends, and we are all connected to each other in a circle, in a blank that never ends.
Hoop.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So overall, you did significantly better than me.
Yeah, you did pretty good, I think, too.
Yeah, I started to do better as we went, but the first couple, I for some reason just had no idea.
Yeah, well, so now people, um, now the reason that this ties into our main topic is because our main topic is, do deleted Disney film songs work in stage adaptations?
And we figured, like Seth earlier saying, that we needed to do more to tie into what we were saying in our trailer. We figured we'd do a little game based on Disney songs, since that's what we were going to be talking about.
Right, yeah. So, you probably, if you've followed the work of Disney for long enough a time, you probably are familiar with a lot of stage versions of existing animated movies from them,
Hmm.
and you've probably noticed that there are some songs in the stage version that aren't in the movie. But did you know that some of them were actually originally written for the movie? I'm
I
asking the
for
audience.
I was about to say, I figured you were asking the audience, but I also, for one, before we started doing research on this, I personally didn't think there were that many, but from what I understand, there are actually a lot more than what I thought.
Yeah. Well, the deleted songs that I have weren't all necessarily used on stage, but they all were at least written for the movie, but didn't make the final cut.
Right.
And
And the
so
first one you had,
was a song called Never Smile at a Crocodile, which was written for Peter Pan.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Although, from what I understand, didn't they have an instrumental version of that song in the film?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Okay, because I thought I remember hearing the tune, but I didn't remember hearing any singing. Did they ever, like, in the article, does it say anything as to why they didn't have the vocals?
Well, well, I'm not I'm not sure about that. I uh, I would probably have to look it up to find out for sure. I do know
Okay.
that version there was a version, a recording with vocals in it that was used for the sing along volume Under the Sea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was
And
that
that
like
was my
a movie? Not necessarily a movie, but was that like a compilation of sing-along songs?
yeah. Well, the video was, and they used, I think, a bunch of clips like with the crocodile and the pirate ship from the movie, I think.
Oh, okay, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so adapting a musical from a movie, at least to me, is often very similar to adapting a movie from a book. Oftentimes, changes will need to be made. Some things will be added, some things will be changed completely. One thing is not able to go into One often is not able to go into as much detail as the other, so it is difficult to tell the same story the same way. In terms of songs that were made for a movie, they might have been written for a scene or a specific moment that also ended up as a deleted scene. So the song will end up going with it. And the first example that came to my mind of something like this happening was actually a song that wasn't in the theatrical release of the film, but was brought back later for special editions, and it was also put in the stage adaptation. Beauty and the Beast had a song called Human Again, where all the main characters inside the castle were talking about what it will be like to become human again and what they will do once the spell's broken. The song was originally cut because the staff at the time didn't think it would really fit with the story or make the overall pace of the story work. Additionally, based on my research, that song was apparently set at the length of about 11 minutes long, which I have only seen like Weird Al songs go that long. But most songs in general might last on average around 3 minutes. So to have a song that was at least triple that length probably would have been pushing it a bit. Eventually, though, the song was brought back in the stage adaptation. Alan Menken himself did some edits to the song, making it shorter and having it be done in a different spot in the story. As a result, its place in the overall production was a lot smoother. Once they saw that the song could actually work, they put it back in the film when it was re-released on special DVDs.
You mentioned Weird Al Yankovic, and I remember reading and hearing that when he was making or releasing his Running with Scissors album in 1999, there was that like 10-minute or longer song Albuquerque,
Mm-hmm.
and in the booklet, the lyrics start to appear, but then he cut it off, kind of making a self-awareness joke that he said, "Nah, these lyrics are too long for the page."
That does sound like something he'd do.
Yeah.
He also had another one that lasted like 10, 11 minutes. I think it was called Trapped in the Drive-Thru.
Yeah, a parody of the R. Kelly saga, Trapped in the Closet.
Right, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure what he was parodying at the time. All I know is that at least Albuquerque and Trapped in the Drive-Thru were both roughly 10, 11 minutes.
Which is fine if you keep it interesting, I guess.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Probably the interesting bit of trivia about Trapped in the Drive-Thru is that that Yankovic was expecting to be obligated to pay more than the normal royalty, because it was uniquely long. But Art Kelly was content with just taking, I mean, the typical royalty amount.
I mean, at least he was a good sport about it.
Yeah, yeah, I guess.
Well, I mean, if it's a song that long, yeah, he probably would normally be paying more. But I mean, if he's happy with paying the regular amount, good for him.
Yeah. So it wasn't really made clear to me by my research why they took out "Never Smile at a Crocodile," but I think maybe I'm probably not as acquainted with the movie as I am with other Disneys, but I think it probably, from my memory, works fine without it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. What's the next song you got?
Right. A song called "Someday" that was written for Hunchback of Notre Dame, um, and
Okay. I definitely like the Hunchback soundtrack, so this will be interesting. Like, do you know much about it other than the fact that it was originally intended for the movie?
it's like, well, there's kind of an overwhelming amount of information on the page here, but
Well, that's okay. You don't have to go into detail, or heck, you don't have to talk about it at all. It's up to you.
yeah,
But
well, there's it was written to be sung by the gypsy Esmeralda, according to
oh,
this. Eh, looks like it has some nice, loving words in it, and I think it probably mm, could have made a nice contribution to the development of the character, maybe.
sure. I
Yeah.
mean, if I had to guess, they probably wanted more of the focus to be on Quasimodo, but I could be wrong. In fact, when you first said the name of the song, I initially guessed that it was a song for him, but then it was replaced by a song like Out There. But if I had to, since it was originally intended for Esmeralda, it would probably be like her maybe wanting everybody to be accepted for who they are, but I have no idea. Maybe like that song was replaced by God Help the Outcasts.
Which I guess was basically the same song concept.
Based off the information that I have, yeah, I would have to agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so while writing my previous segment about Human again, I had started to think a lot about Beauty and the Beast. I put a lot of thought into both versions of the movie, like the animated and live action versions, and then I remembered a song that was only in the stage adaptation that wasn't in either movie. It was a song for the Beast called If I Can't Love Her. After the animated film was released and while the stage adaptation was being written, Alan Menken, for those who don't know, Alan Menken is like the guy behind a lot of Disney songs. But he thought that the Beast should have his own solo number. He figured the Beast did not have a lot of singing in the story as it is, and he also figured this would help give the Beast a bit more character development. It was brought into the stage adaptation, and it was very well received. Then, when the live action film came out, many were hoping, like I talked to a few friends, they were hoping that it was going to be in there. And it almost was. But they ultimately left it out as they felt that with the way the story was being told, the song wouldn't fit with the pacing. It was replaced by a song with a similar tone and message that was still well received called Evermore. Some didn't like that If I Can't Love Her wasn't in there, but I personally did not mind the substitution whatsoever.
I personally like If I Can't Love Her More, and I think it probably had a lot of cinematic potential.
Mm-hmm. I will say though, and I had this on a YouTube playlist at some point, though I don't know if it's still there. There actually was a full-on recording of the song sung by Josh Groban. So you should be able to still find that somewhere, I bet. But he still at least did a song in the credits of the live action film, which I believe was just him doing the Evermore song. But yeah, he did both, and honestly, he did great.
Oh, he does good stuff. We have a copy of his Noel album.
Is that like his Christmas album or?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. There's a good arrangement in there of "I'll Be Home for Christmas."
Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
actually think I
and
have that one. Maybe. I'd have to look.
and there's also on there a collab with Brian McKnight, whom is originally from Buffalo, which is where some of my family is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
All
I
right, what you
also
got?
found I also found a song that was this is kind of unique. It was originally written for the live action Lion King from 2019,
Okay.
and it's called Where Do I Belong?
And this was exclusively written for the live action film.
Right,
Okay.
right. And it says it was meant to be sung during the part where Simba gets exiled from the Pride Lands after losing his dad.
Okay. So he's kind of just roaming around wondering where he should go. I would probably take it.
I would guess. I guess it's kind of. I guess you could think of it as a sort of transition from into like the third act where he runs away.
Right.
Yeah, and in a way, I guess it would probably well, give us more of a deeper look into his feelings, or would have, I should say.
Right.
Yeah,
I
but
think they at least kept a song in the live action version that Nala sang on his way back, I think. Like on his way back, didn't she sing something? Like she had a solo, I believe, but I can't remember exactly where it was.
I don't remember her having a solo in the movie.
I could have sworn she did. I'd have to look at it again. I saw it once when it was in theaters, and then I haven't seen it since. But
Though,
hmm?
though it probably shouldn't be a surprise because she was played by Beyonce.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Yeah, what were you going to say?
I was going to say it's actually interesting that you brought up Lion King next because I was about to as well.
All
Because
right.
along with many other websites, BuzzFeed has lists created of many of the Disney songs that were not in movies they were meant for. And the first one they listed was one meant for the animated Lion King called To Be King. Not I Just Can't Wait to Be King. It was simply called To Be King. And it was meant to be sung by Mufasa. This actually helped me realize that Mufasa is one of the only main characters in that movie that doesn't really have a song or is involved in a song or really sings at all. The people behind the song wrote it as a way to have Mufasa kind of teach Simba about the ways of kingship, but it was left out. And this decision was made after they got a good sample of James Earl Jones' portrayal of the character. They realized the song would not really fit with his kind of like tone of voice or the way he was portraying Mufasa. I would love to see this song in the stage version though, as it would give Mufasa a song and it would make his passing that much more impactful.
I don't think it would be necessary. I think, with that little monologue about, everything exists in a delicate balance and all of that in that early scene, I mean, it's kind of says it all in a way.
Well, yeah, I completely get what you're saying. And I'm not saying it absolutely has to be in the stage version. I just feel like depending on who portrays Mufasa, I could definitely see it being on stage. Whether they do it or not is up to them, though.
Okay. And one song that was originally written for Snow White, but didn't make the final cut, a song called You Are Never Too Old.
Hmm.
Basically, a scene. This would be in a scene in which the dwarfs would be singing to entertain Snow White.
Okay. Did they actually, in the final product, did they ever actually sing any songs to her? Like, I
I
know she
don't
was,
think.
like, I think she at least sang one or two songs to them, but I don't think they did any for her. I know they did songs, but just not directed towards her.
Now the dwarfs did have that one hand washing song just with each other.
They had that one, and then they had the Hi Ho song. Uh, but yeah, I don't think they ever sang a song for her specifically.
And there was one other song that was written for the movie that wasn't ultimately used and wasn't even inked or painted, called "Music in Your Soup," which would have happened at the dinner table.
I mean, that kind of makes sense.
But they chose not to use that one because it would have followed the hand washing song, and it was also a sort of etiquette themed song. So they felt, uh, so from what I understand it, they pretty much felt it would have slowed the movie down too much.
Okay, I could see that. And I guess it would kind of be two songs delivering a similar message based on my understanding. But yeah, oftentimes songs or scenes are cut simply because it'll just make the project too long.
Yeah, I feel like there would be the same problem had they used that other one. You're never too old. Too slow a pace.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't really. It didn't really seem like it had anything to do with like the plot.
Yeah, I get you. Then one other one BuzzFeed listed that caught my attention was originally planned for the movie Mulan called Keep 'em Guessing. Like with Lion King showing that Mufasa never got a song, this song made me notice that Mushu didn't really get one either. As as BuzzFeed put it, quote, "In the end, Eddie Murphy added enough personality to Mushu without a perfunctory introductory song, and it was scrapped," unquote. This makes total sense to me, but if Mulan ever became a stage musical, unless there is one and I just don't know about it, I believe that if someone added some personality to Mushu to where he would still be lovable and make that song work, that's another song that I would like to see done in stage form.
I think there is a Mulan musical because my sister in elementary school did a Mulan Junior show, and
Hmm.
that song was used. Keep them guessing. Was used in there.
I honestly had no idea. Like I know there are a lot of like junior versions of musicals so that kids are able to do them, but I didn't know Mulan had one. Son of a gun.
Yeah. And then there's a song that was written for the genie in Aladdin, but not used, called "To Be Free."
Now that one I can guess what it's about.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much the genie being free from mastery.
Right. I if I had to guess though, I think the reason why they might have let that song out is because they had an entire scene like leading up to Aladdin wishing he was a prince where Genie just basically talked about how if he had a wish, that's what he'd wish for and saying why. Like he even goes, "But oh, to be free, not to go, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need?"
Yeah, I feel like the genie, as it is, doesn't get that much development or noticeable depth.
Right.
Although he does show more than one character dimension, I don't think we really got like a backstory or that much depth to his character or anything. So having that song in there would probably have been helpful to the movie, or would have been helpful for the musical if they didn't. I don't know if they used it, but maybe it would have been the best idea.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I had personally one more example written down here,
All right.
and this was also a song that was deleted from its original film that ended up still being in the stage adaptation. And coincidentally, we're talking about the same show again because this was Aladdin's song Proud of Your Boy. For those who
Yeah,
do not know about this song, the song is Aladdin singing to his mom about wanting to give up his mischievous behavior and make her proud. However, once Aladdin's mom was kind of pretty much written out of the original story, they figured that the song would not make nearly as much sense, so it was left out of the film as well. Once the stage adaptation was being made, though, they found a way to get the song back in there, and it was absolutely loved by the audience, showing yet one more great example of a deleted song working in a stage adaptation.
yeah. Mr. Coat, a YouTuber I've mentioned in the show's past,
Yep.
had a whole list, and I shared this with Jordan of a personal list of top 8 deleted Disney movie songs, and Proud of Your Boy was on the list, and he explained the backstory, which was that it was eventually decided that the mom didn't really add much to the plot of the movie.
Sure.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, though, when they were doing the direct to VHS sequels, they brought his dad in.
Well, at least in the King of Thieves movie.
Right, I'm saying in the direct to VHS. Yeah.
And then there's a song that was written for The Little Mermaid called Her Voice. And
Is that one sung by the Prince?
yes, Prince Eric, yeah.
Because I don't know if it was called this, but I think the stage one had a song where he wondered where she was or where that voice came from.
Well, I think if I had a particular reason for saying yes, include that one, maybe just because I keep hearing, or I'm kind of used to hearing people complain about, about how Ariel was kind of objectified by the filmmakers, or trying to, or how do I say this? That that they keep bringing up the fact that she exchanged her voice for legs so she could be with a man, but I've thought to myself that they failed to consider that her dad pretty much forced her to sing, and she didn't want to sing. So I
At
figure,
least not in that setting. Like I feel like she still enjoyed singing, but being forced to do it was not something she was appreciative of. Appreciative of.
so I figured the exchange was a desperate effort to, escape oppression or slavery.
Yeah, and then even after she traded her voice, one thing that kind of bugged me for a while, especially after a lot of people started pointing it out, is that even before she gave her voice up, Ariel was shown to be able to write. So why didn't she ever communicate with the prince by writing things to him?
Maybe she couldn't find something to write with, or
I mean, they were in a castle of some sort when she met him, so they must have had something somewhere. But I don't know. It was still a good story, just a little nitpick.
well, maybe she didn't even know sign language.
And for all we know, he didn't either. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, nah. Well, uh, I guess I get I guess I get where it's coming from when people, like particularly women, complain about that, but I feel like they don't consider it, or kind of how kind of abused or oppressed that she was back home. I don't know if they consider that enough.
yeah, I hadn't thought about it too much before, but and she also was kind of in that like she was a teenager, and teenagers are typically, or at least stereotypically, known for being rebellious. So
Yeah, so that one I think could have worked, or I would have liked in there.
yeah, I would have liked to see it too, especially since I don't think, at least in the animated film, Prince Eric really got a song. But yeah, a, a song very similar, if not the same one, was in the stage version. So that's something at least.
Yeah, so maybe in that case we didn't really need it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, yeah. And then there was a song specifically made for the Broadway show of Frozen, but deleted ultimately, called Resolution,
Hmm.
in which the younger versions of Elsa and Anna appear alongside their parents.
Okay.
And and part of it is kind of a reprise of Love is an Open Door, I guess, between Anna and Elsa.
Okay.
And and I don't know if I can tell you anything else about it. You could maybe, you guys could maybe look up the lyrics and make a call for yourself on that one.
I was about to say we can all do our own research and kind of get more information about these things.
And there was just one other one called "One Day She'll Love Me," and this is a very unique case because the story goes that The Emperor's New Groove was originally conceived as a more serious, dramatic, epic story, and originally titled Kingdom of the Sun, before before deadline pressures kicked in and things got intense, and they were kind of forced to transform it into the rather wacky comedy that we ended up getting.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have made sense with the Temple of the. What did you say? Temple of the Sun?
Kingdom of the Sun.
Kingdom of the Sun. Sorry. But based on where that movie takes place, that would have made sense.
Yeah. So this was a song that was written by Sting for the original project titled Kingdom of the Sun,
Hmm.
and it was meant to be about how the love interest would fall for Pacha, who she thinks is Mako, which was Mako was pretty much the predecessor or the character that was transformed into Cusco for New Groove.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, considering, mm, I guess that there wasn't much to like about about the Cusco character we got. There weren't probably that many dimensions. I mean, there were moments when uh, you saw him got scared or upset, but most of the time was real sarcastic and and egotistical. Well, this would have probably given him at least a new, more likable dimension, probably.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people said they didn't like Cusco simply because most of the time he was kind of a jerk, and then even after the movie ended, he didn't really learn a whole lot per se. I mean, he kind of did, but still. And then when the spin-off series Emperor's New School came out, he kind of reverted back to being self-centered. So even if he did learn anything in the film, it just all kind of got reversed. So maybe if that was still in there, it could have helped him a little bit.
That's probably the beef that I have with that one character on Nickelodeon's Hey Arnold, Rhonda Lloyd, the wealthy girl.
Hmm.
In what, like in one episode, she's full of herself and not exactly being fair or nice to people, and then she has to go through some kind of problem that kind of rocks her world, and then she kind of mellows and acts nicer, but then whatever number of episodes later, she's the same old self again.
Right.
Almost as if this sort of world-rocking or humbling experience never happened.
Huh.
I don't know about you, but that's kind of, yeah, that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, I kind of have to side with you on that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, thanks everyone for joining us once again, and you can stream us anytime on demand. Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube. All our YouTube links will appear on Facebook, and please, you know, feel free to talk to us, or maybe ask us if you're a friend or family about joining us for any of our discussions or episodes, and you can you can email, Facebook message us. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and if you have any suggestions for future topics, please let us know. I mean, we still have quite a lot, as Seth is constantly coming up with great ideas, but we can always use more.
yeah. Well, thanks again for joining us, and no, I think unless we've got any obligations, we will be back again next weekend, rolling again. Until then, we'll see you soon.
Take care, everybody.